Hey guys, Sandan here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia 273, The Thrill of Destruction. Now this chapter, but actually before we go on to the chapter, let's talk a couple of things. So I've got my camera back from London, so it's all good. This should be a decent quality video for once. So I'm happy about that. I've got my trusted Overwatch cap back as well. But also with all this stuff going on over in America, to all my American viewers, whether you be a he, she, whatever, stay safe. Make sure whatever you're doing with logic, with planning, with strategy. Try to stick to what your goal is. Try to be intelligent about what you're trying to achieve, and more than anything, stay safe. But My Hero Academia, going back to that. So this chapter, The Thrill of Destruction, Horikoshi has been slaying for a long while now. Absolutely bad ass chapter. What did we learn? We start off with Deku smacking Shigaraki's decay with a shockwave to try and slow it down. His power, this Deku by the way, is quite scary right now. He's caused some serious damage to try to push back the decay. We see all the windows on the building smashing as his shockwave pushes through this corridor, this building, this not even corridor, this street. And much like I said in the last chapter, it didn't actually do much. With Ochako actually notifying us that its spread isn't the spread of the decay isn't similar to Deku's attack, which is a shockwave Air Force based attack. It's not the same. It's actually traveling down something like a nervous impulse. It's not shockwave based attack. So we see all the students trying their best to rush all the remaining citizens out. We see Ochako with her new ropes pulling a couple citizens. We see Bakugo holding a kid by his teeth and a few others pulling them out. We see Nejire actually using her quirk on a car and a bus, lifting them, I think, or she's pushing them along. And we see Deku using his black whip and pulling a bus and random people with him. Our guy is pulling a bus. Deku has his black whip wrapped around a bus and random other people behind him, but he's pulling a bus with relative ease. I understand he's probably around about, I'm not sure if he's still at 45% capacity, because that attack, that shockwave, that was 45% capacity, that St. Louis smash, I think it was. But I'm not sure if he's still at 45% capacity or if he's regulated his quirk to a lower percentage. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like it's around about 30-ish% at least right now. We then go to Shigaraki. What do we learn here? This is kind of the better part of the chapter. First, we learn here that Exilus actually damaged the machine which contained the quirk erasing bullets that Dr. Ujiko had been working on. Even though Exilus died, he did something very, very useful, very heroic just before dying. So props to him. I mean, like, I wish we would have actually seen him do it. Like maybe as he could feel the kind of decay destroying him. He was really close to the he was the closest thing to the epicenter besides Shigaraki. So he was going to get roasted anyway. But I was hoping we'd see like Exilus just turn to the machine, laser it before we died. That would have been a really nice shot to get to see him do it and then the effect of him doing it, but we didn't really get that. So I'm a little bit disappointed there. Maybe, it would have been one panel here or there. However, the issue here is there are quite a few bullets that are still intact and are going to remain functional. So it's going to be quite interesting to see whether Shigaraki is going to try to mass produce those bullets that are remaining, or if he even can. Is there someone with the scientific capability or the know-how to be able to do that? Ujiko is meant to be like a one-of-a-kind, but the League and the Paranormal Front, they have this connection. They have money backing them, so there's no doubt they'll be able to find people with the necessary skills, maybe a team of people to do what Ujiko was doing. Also, Shigaraki seems to have some sort of safe zone. This is just what I noticed. A safe zone around him for his quirk of around about 2-3 meters, the diameter of the ground beneath him. That's kind of how I judged it. Much like if you've ever read Bleach, Senbon Zakura, which is Byakuya's his Shikai, and then obviously his Bankai as well. He would have this safe zone around him so that his own blades, his own Senbon Zakura wouldn't affect him. And I don't think this will be that important for Shigaraki, as his quirk is now fully under his control. Another thing we learned, meaning he can choose whether he wants to decay something or whether he doesn't want to decay something. And even if he has 5 fingers on something, or if it's 2 fingers based off of his recent quirk evolution, he can now choose whether he wants to decay something. So you see, he picks up the phone with his 2 fingers. I don't think he actually needs to do that. I think he can. You see at the end, actually, he's holding the phone with his whole hand. he can choose whether he wants to decay something or not. It's not a matter of, oh shit, I put all 5 fingers on it, we're screwed. It's nothing like that anymore. He has complete mastery of his quirk, which is scary in and of itself, but he has other quirks on top of this, so the hero's in a really, really crap situation. Shigaraki then summons Makia. In this chapter, he legit calls him up and says, yo, sup B, come down with your boys, we gonna kick some ass, which is a major up shit creek moment for the heroes. This is really, really bad situation. If the heroes hadn't already been caught off guard with Shigaraki's souped up decay, a giant beast with a variety of probably physically enhancing and probably life or vigor enhancing, strength enhancing quirks, a beast of that magnitude is about to drop on them and ruin their day just a tad bit more. He also orders Makia, this is Shigaraki, to bring the others. So I'm assuming the others here means the entire league will roll out ready to clap the heroes at the hospital. But once again, that's a really, really shitty situation for the heroes. Meanwhile, we see Hawks is being led towards the rear guard by Tokiyami on an instruction given to him by Fat Gun in an attempt to find medics. Mount Lady angrily attacks Apocrypha, who protects himself with ice. It seems to be pretty, it's a normal day in the office for him. And we find out that tentacle hero who captured both Toga and Mr. Compress, he actually failed to hold on to them in the chaos, so they're both free, both completely roaming free. And we see Mr. Compress chilling up near near a banister or something like that on the 2nd or 3rd floor, and he's looking down at Toga. And this part was awesome. Toga has been going on a killing spree, fueled by her rage at the death of Bubaigo, Jin Bubaigo, or twice. And Toga's entire character, I was reading this comment on Reddit, so I've kind of given my own interpretation of that as well, but I've forgotten the name, but you'll know if it was you. But Toga's entire character so far has been this weird concept, for me anyway, of wanting to become those she loves. I haven't quite understood it yet, but she wants to become those she loves, because her whole thing is ingesting the blood of those of people. She can become them, and she can kind of understand them. Like we saw her utilizing Ochako's quirk. She becomes more and more like them. She looks like them. She talks like them. I'm not sure if she actually gains the memories that they have. I don't think she does at all. But she wants to become more and more like those, like the people that she ingests the blood of, those people she loves, to the point of butchering and killing people in order to ingest their blood. But with Twice, she didn't ever really have that thing with him. She didn't want to become him. She didn't want to ingest his blood. She didn't want to siphon his fluids or anything like. She just liked him for who he was, another outcast just like her, who didn't have any prejudice towards her for her blood-sucking tendencies. He didn't really have anything against her. He liked her. He actually took care of her. If anything, Twice was the only real friend that Toga had, and someone who looked for her to his own detriment, and by the end of it actually died, trying to be an asset to her and to the rest of them, the league. So with his death, it only really makes sense to me that she's gone full psycho. She is absolutely pissed, and she looks insane as she stands naked on top of the rubble, Gigantomachia's hand bursting out from the floor beneath her. That whole panel looked amazing, absolutely it looked so good. Really, really good work by Horikoshi there. So the final thing we actually see is Endeavor flying towards Shigaraki, who acknowledges the number one hero with troubling ease. He's like, "Oh, hello. This is not the wake-up call I was expecting." And I'm like, dude, you should be shitting bricks, but he's not. And that's what's troubling me. That's what's really, really ominous about this. Will Endeavor actually be able to damage Shigaraki? I think if he keeps his distance, then yeah, it makes sense. Endeavor should be that guy. But did you just see what Shigaraki did to the entire city? Without being there, he literally stood in one place, and kilometers of the city have been absolutely ruined. So if he keeps his distance, Endeavor will have kind of a chance if he stays airborne as well. But if he tries to land a punch, which it looks like he's doing right now, nope, he's going to die. He's going to lose body parts. He's going to lose life. So things could get really emotional here, the way that I'm picturing this happening. If the entire league rolls up with Gigantomachia and they start to attack Endeavor, picking him apart, only for Dabi to then reveal his connection to Endeavor, and then they go and kill him, that would be crazy. That would be insane. Also, it's entirely possible that Endeavor gets his quirk stolen here, so there's a whole variety of different things that could happen in different ways. Maybe all of them happen at different points in time while Endeavor's getting picked apart. I don't know. Will Deku and the others try and provide backup for Endeavor? They're the healthiest heroes, I think, in terms of they haven't really engaged with anyone. They're the most fit. They haven't wasted or used up any energy yet. So besides possibly Ryukyu, maybe Aizawa, President Mike, all the others who are kind of escapees from the what would you call it, the lower level of the hospital, they're the most healthy. Endeavor's going to need all the help he can get, I think. And it would be awesome to see Deku confront his nemesis for the first time in a very long while and have kind of like a first shot at fighting him. And we could see both of their quirks in action, both of their multiple quirks in action, and whether Shigaraki can actually even utilize his other quirks yet. So that's pretty much the entire chapter. I think it was a fire chapter, and what could happen going forward, the implications of this chapter is just... I don't know, man. I really hope Endeavor doesn't die at least so quickly or die just yet. I really want to see him kind of, confront more of his demons, do more of a good job that he's been doing with Todoroki and his family, trying to be that kind of figure that he hasn't been for so long, that father figure, as well as a husband to his wife. But let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. Let me know what you guys thought of this review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a bit.